In our next step, we're going to add constructor to our CFluidWindow class. Class constructor is a function responsible for initialization of class data members at the time of object creation. So class constructor is a function, and so this will be the name of this function. Of course, it is the same name as the name of our class. I will copy and paste this to use when we add new constructor. So we already added the class, and we're going to click new code, function method, and just specify class constructor name with parentheses as a name for this function. And of course, it's important to keep the declaration of it public. You can see that the access modifier is here, so we can change it, but we will just keep it public, which is the default choice. So now we have a class with constructor. Fluid can allow you to add parameters to your constructor. We're just gonna use default constructor for now, and it will generate appropriate code when you click write code. So, but at this stage, let's save what we have done so far just by clicking save. And the next step is to add the window. So right now, inside Fluid configuration, we have a class and a class constructor, but the next step is to create a window. It's also important to keep the constructor selected in this view, because the constructor function will be the placeholder for the actual code which will be creating the window. So this is why we want to keep this hierarchy. So right now, as we're just about to click new group window, we would like to keep the constructor selected in this view. Simply you can click on it. So let's say new group. Window is a container, so that's why it's a grouping object, and we'll say new window. So the window is created. You can resize it as it gets created. I'll just keep it somewhere close to Fluid main window right here. Currently it has no name, so we need to name our window, and we'll use the same name we used previously, WinApp. To be able to do something like this, we need to double click inside this window box, or you can double click on this line corresponding to our window in the project tree, and switch to C++ tab and specify the name. Right here, the name will be WinApp. Make sure that you use consistent names, the names consistent with our handout once again, just to be sure that everything compiles correctly. So let's close this property, and what I would like to do before we generate the code, perhaps go back and in the GUI part, the label will give the title of to our window. So instead of having it blank, let's just say Lab 3. You can see that now the window identifies its title. The first step would be to save everything and then to write code. So write code generates these two files, and if I would like to see them under our lab subfolder, and this is our current project, Lab 3, under Fluid. Now these two files, CXX and H, the header file, were generated. So these two files reside, as we predicted, in the same directory as the Fluid project, and notice that the generated code has the same name, same exact name as the name of the project file with .fl extension. So this is important for the rest of the configuration of our C++ project. So let's close this. And you can close this window at any time. We've already generated the code, and now it's time to save what we have so far. So let's reopen our lab project and add this implementation file to the list of the source files. So we're just going to say File, Recent Projects. I still have it on my list right here. I just opened it using the Recent Projects. View, Solution Explorer. And here we'll expand the source files. So we already have our main file on this list. By right-clicking, we're just going to add existing item. And of course, this dialog box opens in our project directory. We're going to go under Fluid Project and choose CXX implementation file. Do not include any other files in this directory, only the implementation file. So now it gets added to our project. Let's take a look at our main function. I'm opening the copy of the main file. So at this point I'll close Solution Explorer, maximize this view and move it to the new tab just to be able to follow the instructions in the laboratory handout. Let's just get rid of the WinMain version of main to simplify the view. We really only need to include the header file generated by Fluid, which is this file right here. So if you want to, you can replace it right here by including it like this, the Fluid window. And so this time we have this window class generated for us by Fluid, and I suppose that now we can replace it right here. I will replace this code with just window show like this, and give it a try just to test what the Fluid has generated for us. We don't even have to use any construct parameters right here. Constructor is a default constructor. So let's see if we can build this. Oh, that's right. We don't have a member show a part of FluidWindow class, but we have a pointer to our window. So what we need to do is first use pointer to window app and then say show. Right now that's just the way it's being arranged by Fluid. Okay, so with this, if I press Ctrl F5 to test my application, so here it is, an empty window.